Hey, if you're a small business owner, you definitely know the feeling, right? Your to-do list is a mile long and there are never, ever enough hours in the day. Well, today we're going to dive into a really powerful system that's designed to cut right through that chaos, lower your stress, and actually start getting you real fast results in your business.
Does this sound familiar? I mean, it's pretty much the daily reality for so many entrepreneurs. That feeling of being constantly overloaded, it's not just annoying, it's a huge source of stress that can seriously hold you and your business back.
So first up, let's just talk about that core problem, owner stress and overload. Just admitting that this is a real common struggle is the first step. But hang in there with me, because the solution is literally right around the corner.
And here is the good news. You really don't have to be stuck in that cycle of just feeling overwhelmed all the time. There's a clear, proven technique out there that lets you grab the reins again, focus your energy where it counts, and start making real progress without completely burning out. So what is this magic solution? Well, it's called the business sprint. We're essentially taking a battle-tested technique from the tech world and applying it directly to the challenges you face every single day. Okay, so what exactly is a sprint? You can think of it like this. It's a short, super concentrated burst of effort. Maybe it's a week, maybe 2 weeks long. And in that time, you focus intensely on improving just one specific part of your business. No distractions, no multitasking, just pure, targeted action. But the real power here, it isn't in just doing one sprint and calling it a day. Nope, it's about adopting a whole new rhythm for your business. A simple, repeatable cycle that makes sure you're always learning, always adapting, and always getting better. And the engine that drives this whole thing is a super simple framework called PDCA. It just stands for Plan, Do, Check, and Act. Think of it as your 4-step roadmap for making progress in every single sprint you run. All right, let's break this cycle down, and we're starting with the most critical step of all, the plan. Seriously, getting this part right is the foundation for everything else. It creates the clarity you need to just obliterate that stress.
So the very first part of planning is what I like to call a massive brain dump. You grab a notebook, a spreadsheet, whatever works for you, and you write down every single task, idea, and worry that's floating around in your head. Let's just imagine a freelance graphic designer. We'll call her Sarah. Her list has everything. Client work, updating her portfolio, finally fixing her broken invoicing system. Just getting it all down on paper, you can feel the mental relief already. Now, Sarah's tasks are going to cover all the bases, right? An operational task might be something like install new accounting software. A personal development task, it could be to learn about the Sprint system. And a strategic one might be explore hiring a virtual assistant. It doesn't matter what it is, it all goes on the list.
Now, Sarah looks at this giant list, and she's probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is impossible. It's even longer than I thought. And that's totally okay. That's reality. The goal here isn't to do everything at once. The goal is to figure out what to do first.
And this brings us to a brilliantly simple tool for prioritizing called the Moscow method. You just go through your huge list and give each task a letter. Is it a must-do, a should-do, a could-do, or something you can just wait on for now? This forces you to make some tough but really necessary decisions. For Sarah, getting her finances sorted is a definite must.
And here's where the discipline comes in. For her 1 or 2 week sprint, Sarah has to promise herself to ignore everything that isn't on her must-do list. This is not about multitasking. It's about pure, focused attention on what matters most right now. Okay, so once your plan is totally locked in, we move on to the next 3 phases of the cycle. These are all about execution and learning. Do, check, and act. The do phase is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. This is your protected time to just get it done. Sarah blocks out time in her calendar to install that new accounting software. She's already done the hard work of deciding what's important, so now she can just execute without any second guessing.
So after the sprint is over, you shift into the check phase. This is your moment to just pause and reflect. And listen, this isn't about judging yourself. It's about being curious. Sarah asks herself 2 simple questions. What actually happened? And what did I learn?
So what if that software installation was a total disaster? Believe it or not, that's fantastic news. It means Sarah just discovered that idea isn't going to work in 1 week instead of wasting months figuring that out. A quick failure is a huge win because it saves you so much time and energy down the road. That's one of the superpowers of this method. And the final step is act. This is where you take everything you learned and use it to lock in your improvements.
Think of it like a ratchet that only turns forward. It makes sure your business gets permanently better with every single cycle.
So what does that actually look like? Well, for Sarah, let's say the software install took way longer than planned because moving the data was a nightmare. In the Act phase, she updates her standard procedure for any new software project. She adds a new checklist item, budget extra time for data migration. Boom! It's now a permanent part of her process, and she'll never make that same mistake again.
So there you have it. That's the complete framework. You get the why, you get the how. Now for the most important part of all, actually putting it into practice.
You know, when you boil it all down, this entire system comes down to one incredibly powerful principle. By consistently figuring out and then working on only the most important things, you absolutely guarantee that you are moving your business forward as fast and as efficiently as possible.
As the old saying goes, expression is impression. You don't truly learn something just by hearing about it. You learn it by doing it. And the absolute best way to feel the power of sprints is to just start your first one.
So that leaves us with one final and pretty crucial question. Take a look at everything that's on your plate right now. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is the one must that you're going to tackle? What will your first sprint be?